Hey everybody, it's me, Missy. I was scheduled to attend Imaging USA in Atlanta this weekend, but I found kind of at the last minute that I couldn't go. So I had a little kink in my plans, which is different than kinky plans, which I wouldn't be making a video about. But my friend Dawn on Facebook said that I really should turn this story into like something bigger and share it with everyone. And I thought she's so right because heartwarming, heartbreaking stories, they sell. They sell big. Now, it might not be that much of a big deal for us everyday photographers, but if you're considering workshopping or touring at all, you're really going to want to kind of have your own story that you tell. Now, I know that a lot of people say, gosh, everybody has stories in their past. Everybody has heartache or stories that they've had to, situations they've had to conquer. Is it really fair to use those to manipulate people's emotions? Does rain fall down? Yes, of course it is. I mean, that is another marketing tool at your disposal, and you really want to use it. I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that. I'm going to take a very simple situation, something that really happened to me, and I'm going to show you how you can use this to kind of gain the sympathy of your workshop attendees or tour attendees or program attendees or, anyone attending anything of yours. This was a true story of me trapped on the side of a mountain. Well, I wasn't on the side of a mountain. I was in a parking lot, and I got locked out of my car. And it would go something like this. So I had just finished shooting, and I'm sharing this story with all of you because it was something I never thought would happen to me, and it's kind of a story of courage. It's a story of survival, and I'm sharing it with you because although I know we all have stories of heartache and courage in our lives, mine's a little worse, and I think that you're going to grow from hearing my story. So I had finished shooting a precious, precious family, and they had driven off, and I went to my Jeep, and this happened a while ago, and it's very difficult for me to talk about still. Okay, now what you want to do is you're going to be given this story a lot, and when you give it, you want to break and kind of start the tears at the same point, at the same part in the story. This is hard. This is very hard because when you're on a multi-city tour and you're given this same spiel over and over, trying to make yourself cry at the same time is hard. So I recommend maybe using a cut onion, pulling out a nose hair. Any of those things will work to bring up tears. So let's continue on. So they drove off, and I realized that I was locked out of my car. And it's that moment when you're standing alone by the side of a busy road, and your freedom is taken away from you. You just can't get in your vehicle and go. That you realize, what do I do? What you question everything. I still had cell phone service, so I called my husband. And I remember him saying, I remember it. I could hear his voice in my head. It was like the voice of an angel. And he said, "Baby, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And those were the longest 10 minutes of my life. And I remember thinking, God, if you get me out of this, God, if you get me out of this, I promise I will devote my life to workshopping and teaching other people how to be photographers." I'm sorry. It just means a lot to me. And he did. He did. And in about 8 minutes, my husband pulled up with his key. Oh, God. And he unlocked my Jeep. And I got in, and I just remember sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I know the direction my life is going to take now. It's going to be to share the story of ultimate survival and courage with other people in the hopes that they can gain strength from my trials. See how that's done? It's totally easy, right? I use the aid of an onion. I mean, there's other things you can use. I mean, the onion the smell gets to you after a while. But it's totally easy, and it really makes you relatable to other people. And it takes really a non-emergency and makes it sound big. People really like that. People really relate to that. Just bring it up as often as you can. I think your workshop attendees, there's nothing you're not going to be able to sell them after that story. Am I right? You know I'm right. Thanks for listening, and happy sob stories.